On today's episode of truLOCAL TV, I am talking all about the keto diet with Joanna Wilcox, also known as KetoInCanada. Hey guys, welcome back to truLOCAL TV. I am your host, Stephanie Kay, and today I have a very fun and exciting guest, Miss Joanna Wilcox. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Excited to have you here. Now, you are essentially what we might call the keto queen, if you will. You've got a YouTube channel, website, Instagram following, all of these different things, sharing your journey and your experience with the keto diet. But let's kind of backtrack a little bit. I would love to hear a bit about your story and how you found the keto diet originally.
Yeah, so I spent a long time yo-yo dieting and had never heard of even the term keto until I went to an emotional eating counselor.
Okay.
So, you know how you watch, I used to watch The Biggest Loser, and they would tell you, you know, until you figure out why you got to this point, you're never going to figure out how, how to get out of it. So I decided I need to figure out my why and the reason why I'm emotionally eating. Like I was eating food to fill every little void that I had in my life. If someone was mean to me at work, I would eat my feelings. You know, if someone passed away in my family, I would gain 10 pounds. Like immediately, because just food was so comforting. So I ended up going to an emotional eating counselor, and she was like, I'm not going to tell you how to eat. That's not why I'm here. I'm not going to tell you how to eat. And then she was like, go home and count how many carbs you're eating. Like, I'm not kidding. This lady who told me she wasn't going to tell me how to eat started giving me nutritional advice, and I got very angry.
Fair,
because that's not why I'm here. But it got me thinking, okay, how many carbs are in my sugar? I'm like, in my yogurt, 25 grams of sugar in my yogurt. I was like, this lady told me I'm only supposed to eat 15 grams of carbs a day. That's what she told me that I need to limit to. So here I am tracking my carbs, and I got really angry. I stopped the exercise like after breakfast because I was like, my Cheerios, my milk, everything has sugar in it. And I'm like, this is restrictive, and there's no way I could do that. So I started the 21-day fix. I was like, I'm gonna use these containers. I'm gonna measure my food and work out. And she was like, good luck. But you need to cut your carbs. And so from that time forward, I started really researching more about it. It had piqued my interest in a way that, you know, I wasn't really sure why. And I saw a lot of before and after pictures. I would look on Google or Reddit or Instagram. And I just woke up one day and said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. I had been struggling with my weight for quite a while, and I just said, you know what, I've got how many, it was like 3 months till Vegas. You know, I had this trip. I had a goal. And so it was like, today is the day that I'm going to just start the ketogenic diet, and if it's not low carb and it's not going to stay within my net carbs, I'm not going to eat it.
And at that point, you knew it was called the keto diet, or were you just, I'm going to experiment with this low carb style
at that point I'd done about 8 weeks worth of research on exactly what it was and why I would be doing it and how it would help my body and why I wanted to reduce sugar. And it just finally got to the point where I felt like I could handle it, like I was ready to make the change.
So for you, it was really this journey from emotional eating that kind of took you into this.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, it's caused me a lot of pain throughout the years, not really understanding why I couldn't control, you know, my weight and my size, and why food had such a stronghold on me.
Kind of the chains of food. So
100%.
At that point, how long ago was that now?
We're at like 850 some days.
Oh, counting the days, I like it.
Yeah, I did a speech the other day. It was 850 days, so I know that I'm close to there. So it was December 1st of 2016.
And when you kind of made that decision, like, okay, I'm gonna try this, like, let's do this, it seems to be working for other people, how long was the transition for you to be like, I got this? Did you struggle at the beginning? Was it hard?
Yeah, you know what, I did struggle at the beginning. I documented my whole journey on Instagram, so I can go back and I can look. So I would say no, I didn't struggle, I aced it. But if I go back and I read my posts, I very clearly state, I don't know how people do this. I'm definitely going to integrate cheat meals. But then somehow I just didn't. Like, I just kept going and I just kept showing up, and I didn't need to go off plan. So it definitely wasn't easy in the beginning. But there's a lot of support online. So if you can find a good online community to help you, to say like, no, you've got this. You don't need to.
So what inspired you to like create this Instagram account at the beginning? Like, you could have just said, okay, I'll do this for myself. I'll do it on my own. You really put it out there.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mix of not having the support in my own personal life. I had girlfriends that were like, can we just not talk about our diet today?
It's a big conversation between women, right? Like, whether we know it's happening, but it's constantly happening all the
Yeah,
time.
like in your group of friends, it could be a constant discussion about how we're going to lose weight now or what diet someone's on. And for me personally, the girls that I had in my life were over it, and they were overhearing about it.
They're just done.
Yeah, and I had experience just through following some of the people that were also following diets and sharing their before and afters. And I thought, well, what a great way to be accountable to myself. Because you always hear, like, you know, tell one person you're going to reach a goal.
Yep.
If you can tell one person, you're going to, like, you know, be more likely to be successful.
Yeah.
So I just, like, filmed a video of myself at my size that I was very uncomfortable with and just said, like, my back hurts, like, my body looks like this, and I'm really going to try to do better. It's my first Instagram video, and it just sort of ruled.
It's like this digital diary that you have.
100%.
In a way.
Yeah, I've got YouTube every week. I did a weigh-in. It's all on my YouTube channels.
And the following on your social platforms is really quite grown, I'm assuming. And how quickly did that start happening?
I think it was by 6 months, I had 10,000 followers on my Instagram. And then after a year and losing 60 pounds, I was up to 60,000 followers. And then another year went by and I was at 120.
And I guess the term keto diet is becoming more and more prevalent. It's, you know, dinner talk. Sometimes people know the word, so they...
Yeah, I feel like still there's a huge amount of the population that has no idea what it is.
Yeah.
But there definitely was sort of a surge in interest in 2017. And so I feel like because I was one step ahead of people, that's why my following grew so quickly, is because here's someone doing what I want to do and I can learn from her.
Amazing.
So that's sort of how that happens. They didn't just say, oh, Joanna, like, she's so cute, I want to follow her. They were just like, oh, she's adding value, perhaps a few, but you know, she's adding value and she's just, you know, a few steps ahead of where I am right now. So I think that worked in my favor when it came to, you know, my success with social media.
Amazing. And then I guess you had kind of mentioned earlier that part of the drive for this was really like your weight or your body image. Was that something that you quickly saw change for the positive, weight loss? Like how quickly or how long did that happen?
Yeah, so I lost 45 pounds in 6 months. So very quickly started to feel really good in my body and really happy that I decided to take the steps forward. The next 6 months were very slow. I only lost 15 pounds the next 6 months. So, you know, I wasn't working out or anything. And then by the time I had lost the 60 pounds, I felt almost, when I looked in the mirror, that I felt like I looked too thin. I still wasn't quite at my weight goal that I had set for myself, but I just found like I didn't have the shape to my body and I looked more skeletal than I really wanted to. And so I decided to start working out with a trainer, my trainer Nate, and I've been with him for almost 16 months now.
Oh, phenomenal.
3 times a week, working out, building muscle, and so
that's great.
That's been a journey in itself because then once you start to gain weight, like I don't weigh myself, so at the end of this year I stopped with the scale because for an entire year I didn't lose 1 more pound, anywhere closer to my weight goal.
At that point, just to pause there for a second, how often were you weighing yourself?
Like twice a day.
Okay,
Too much.
Takes a toll, right?
Too much, and I knew I needed to stop when I hit that moment where it was like, I felt so good in the morning. I was like, oh, I can see the changes to my body. I feel great. But then I stepped on the scale and it didn't show me the number. And I would just feel like I don't have the right to feel good right now because I'm 145 instead of 142 or whatever it was.
You thought you should be. Right?
Yeah, and I just realized after a year of not losing weight, yet still following the ketogenic diet strictly, still working out every single day, that it wasn't about that number anymore to me. And I was able to really just step away from it and just feel proud about showing up for myself and working out and building muscle, and the number is so irrelevant. Even in the weight loss, like I wish at 180 pounds I would have felt the same way.
Right.
You know, but sometimes I think it's a journey to get there.
So just to elaborate on that, I mean, we've mentioned weight a bit, but what other changes, positive changes in other aspects, you know, mood, whatever it may be, have you noticed?
Yeah, so, you know, we have 2 young kids, and my husband and I would literally, like my husband follows keto too, but we would switch off nap times. It was like, I napped yesterday, you can nap today. Like we were literally trading off parenting.
Did he start at the same time as you?
27 days after. Okay. Yeah, he wanted to get through the Christmas season.
Okay. Yeah.
And eat all the foods.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that the energy that we have is a lot better. We sleep really well at night.
Okay.
Waking up's not as hard as it used to be.
Okay.
We get through the day without needing to crash or trade
having
things
those
off.
Energy dips and spikes.
Yeah, lots of energy dips and spikes before. I used to have a lot of back pain, but I feel like the weight loss has of course helped with that. And I used to have eczema, and my hands are clear now. I mean, there's a little dryness there, but I was thinking that today when we were driving in. I was like, oh, my hands have not had eczema problems for the 2 years I've been on keto.
And how quickly did you start to see that change?
Pretty quickly, but I think it's also, you have to think the weight loss, of course, is going to be correlated
all these
in
things
that as
work
well.
Together.
Yeah, but I would say within the first 90 days, I was starting to feel significantly different. And really, you go through this little phase, I think a lot of keto people do, where it's like you want to tell everybody about keto, and you get really passionate and really excited, and and then I wrote a book on how to help people because I think I was just in that moment where I had a lot of people asking, and I saw an opportunity. So, but you just want everyone in the world to just give it a try one time.
Yeah, so you kind of had this aha moment, and you just want to pay it forward in a way, right?
Yeah, and you're like, how did I spend my entire my whole life struggling with weight? And then all of a sudden I just found a way that I could eat high-fat food and feel really full all the time, and lose that drive to emotionally eat, because that was originally my problem was emotional eating. But one thing the lady did say to me is like, well, if you need to eat low carb. So eat a pepperoni stick or eat something if you're going to eat. Don't eat the bag of potato chips.
Right.
And that advice in itself was life-changing for me.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that story. I have lots more questions for you, which we will get to. So stay tuned for those, guys, but be sure to subscribe for more awesome videos in the meantime.